Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to officially call this public meeting of the Mayor and Council to order. At this time, I'd ask everyone to please stand for a moment of silent prayer and a reflection as we think about the United States military, personnel, home and abroad. Please salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we begin, please note the fire exits to your rear into the main parking lot, and to my left or right into the main hallway. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of New Milford have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall, and notices have been sent to the Record and the Ridgewood News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard the infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people, within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. At this time, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Here.
Councilman Zollner.
Here.
Council President Duffy.
Here.
Councilman Grodzki.
Here.
Councilman Seymour.
Here.
Councilwoman Grant.
Here.
Mayor Petrino.
Here. Before we start, I would like to ask for a motion to add an item to closed session tonight, and the title would be Legal Advice, Social Media Policy.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have an appointment on the agenda tonight. May I get a motion to appoint Sarah Talia Levy to the Zoning Board of Adjustment Alternate 2 position? Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, congratulations and thank you, Sarah, for your upcoming service. Under unfinished business, may I get a motion for the approval of the minutes for the June 9th, 2025 closed session and work session meetings?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any? Okay, so we have one abstention and everyone else was okay, right? All right, we have a couple of ordinance adoptions on the agenda tonight, and when the clerk gets the opportunity, I would ask her to please read the first one, which is 2025:19.
An ordinance authorizing the granting of easements to Public Service Electric and Gas Company to provide electric service for electric vehicle charging stations.
The purpose of this ordinance is to grant easements to PSE&G to install poles and other equipment to service electrical vehicle charging stations at the Milford Borough Hall, in the Milford Public Library, and Knights Field. May I get a motion to open to the public for a public hearing on this ordinance?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding this ordinance, now would be your opportunity to come up. Seeing that Larry does not want to come up, I would ask for a motion to close to the public.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt this ordinance on its final reading?
So moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Yes.
Councilman Zollner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grodzki. Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes.
Mayor, where will the charging stations be actually?
Do we have the exact time on that, or we're still?
Still waiting on a few things from Public Service.
Within a month or two? From the summer view?
I believe that the two from the library here will be, I'm not necessarily sure that the one over by the field will make it.
The field is taking longer.
Yeah. There was a little more infrastructure required.
The second ordinance for adoption tonight is 2025:20. When the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask him to please read the ordinance.
Bond ordinance to appropriate an additional sum of $80,000 for the undertaking of the Main Street Improvements Project in, by, and for the Borough of New Milford in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such additional appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Okay, the purpose of this ordinance is to appropriate an additional $80,000 to the Main Street Improvement Project. And coincidentally, last week, we did get a letter from the state of New Jersey saying that our request was granted to extend the project. So everything's in good shape. May I get a motion to open to the public for a public hearing on this ordinance? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding this ordinance, now would be your opportunity to come forward. Seeing that no member of the public wishes to come forward at this time, I would ask for a motion to close to the public. Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt this ordinance on its final reading?
So moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman San Houston.
Yes.
Councilman Zalner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
It's going to agree when it's done.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to new business, we have a couple of ordinance introductions tonight. First one being 2025:21, and when the clerk gets the opportunity, I would ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan for Block 501, Lots 9 and 10 in the Borough of New Milford, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-7.
The purpose of this ordinance is to adopt the redevelopment plan prepared on behalf of the borough by Phillips Press Rigel Lahini Hughes LLC for the property located at 810 and 814 and 820 River Road, New Milford, a copy of which is on file at the office of the borough clerk and is available upon public inspection. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading? So moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman San Houston.
Yes.
Councilman Zalner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
The public hearing for this ordinance will be at our July 28th meeting.
The ordinance will be passed to the planning board for their review.
Yeah, let me just note there is a 45-day period.
45 days, but they are
Yeah.
planning to meet and
Okay.
discuss it at their next meeting prior to ours.
Love when the planning board is planning.
Assuming that the planning board,
We think we will adopt that at our
That's
July
right.
28th meeting. Okay, the next one is 2025:22, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I would ask her please read the ordinance.
capital ordinance of the Borough of New Milford in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing the replacement of a fire horn at Fire Company Number 1 in by and for the borough, appropriating therefore the sum of $13,000, and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the capital improvement fund of the borough.
The purpose of this ordinance is to appropriate $13,000 from the Borough of New Milford Capital Improvement Fund to replace the fire horn at Company 1. When we discussed this was something we were, no question, all in agreement with. This is something that is vital for our community, so. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
So moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman San Houston.
Yes.
Councilman Zalner.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilman Seymour.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
And we're fairly confident that the public hearing on this ordinance will be at our July 28th meeting. And we thank the fire department for their patience with this. I don't think there's any question we're going to do, there's just a figuring out how we were going to do it. Correct. Okay. Okay, item number 1 is scheduled updates. Excuse me. On Friday, July 4th, the Historic Newbridge Landing walking tour, sponsored by the Bergen County Historical Society, will take place at 10 a.m. at Historic Newbridge Landing. They recommend to RSVP on their website, and it's $12 to take part. Also on Friday, July 4th, is the second annual Star Spangled Spectacular, sponsored by Bergen County. It will be at 2:30 p.m., and it'll take place at Overpeck Park. There'll be activities, food trucks, games, music, fireworks. On Saturday, July 12th, is Vintage Baseball at Historic Newbridge Landing, sponsored by the Bergen County Historical Society. It starts at 2 p.m. It is at Historic Newbridge Landing. RSVP is recommended, and it is also $12. And if you have not been to that, it's something you'll want to see. It's pretty cool. Right, Larry? Okay. On Tuesday, August 5th, is our annual National Night Out, sponsored by the Milford Police Department. It'll start at 7 p.m. It is on Kennedy Field, as usual, and the night will end with fireworks.
Terrific. Do we have a rain date for that, a weather date?
There's no rain dates for National Night Out.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 2 is overnight parking. The only thing I wanted to report tonight about that is, at our July meeting, we'll be having representatives of the police department coming to our meeting. They will be talking to us about their plan to possibly offer a residential pass to homeowners where they can be allowed to park on the street. There will be fees associated to that, so they will run that by us and see what we think.
Mayor, can we go back to number 1 for a moment? I have a couple of things that I think you mentioned.
Are there anything that take place in July and August, or?
No.
And we're only gonna do 2 months at a time.
But I do want, people should know that there will be contracts available for the library book sale and garage sale, or for the garage sale.
People have been
National
used.
Night Out.
Okay.
So they can be picked up at the library's table.
Excellent. We do not have a definitive date yet, but sometime in September will be the ShopRite Family Day as well. So just keep that in mind. Item number 3 is the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Number of engineering updates. The DEP expects to complete the technical review of the permit application for the French Brook restoration by mid to late July. And if approved, construction documents will be finalized for it to be put out to bid in August. Fingers crossed. Bid documents are being finalized for 2 NJDOT road improvement projects, the Local Aid Infrastructure Fund 2024 for Steuben, Clinton, Linwood, Maple, and Roosevelt, and the Municipal Aid 2025 for Roslyn, Monroe, and Marion. Once those documents are finalized, we will be advertising public notice for bids for those as well. An application was submitted on June 11th to the NJDOT Local Transportation Project Fund for storm drain improvements and milling and paving for portions of Lacey Drive, Trench Drive, Panerum Place, James Street, and Elizabeth Street. An application was submitted on June 23rd to NJDOT 2026 Municipal Aid for roadway improvement project for East Woodland Road, Lumen Drive, Grieve Drive, and Bridge Street. The revised project documents for the Main Street Improvement Project were submitted on June 19th to NJDOT for review, and once approved, the project will be put out for bid. The EPA application for the previously awarded congressional appropriation for the Pine Avenue and Hughes Road Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project was submitted on June 3rd. And we are awaiting confirmation from Bergen County Community Development for approximately $139,000 in funding for the roadway improvement project on Clinton Avenue, Huguenot Drive, Arlington Road, and Yale Street. Other than the engineering review, I want to remind everybody that Borough Hall will be closed Friday, July 4th in observance of Independence Day, and that the next meeting of the Mayor and Council will not be until the end of July. It's a joint session scheduled for Monday, July 28th at 7 p.m. And that's it for me.
Any questions for the administrator? Moving on to resolutions. Everyone has had a chance to look at them. Are there any that need to be pulled for further vote and/or discussion? Okay, if not, we're going to move on to council committee reports, and we're going to start with Councilwoman Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. The Milford Arts Committee earlier this month met to review its May 31st event, and to pat ourselves on the back, I will say to the members who served it, we're doing an absolutely fabulous job, and thanks to the YMCA for allowing us to use their gym. The senior center has numerous trips planned, and many of them are quite exciting. Upcoming events we discussed. The highlight is going to be a show in Milford on July 22nd, and Director Lynn Sullivan will be leading a special line dancing class on July 8th. Police Department Lieutenant Petrie, this is Lieutenant Petrie, right? We'll be discussing senior scams on July 29th, and you know that there are many and always constant emails coming. July 14th is Senior Swim Day at the Milford Swim Club, and the Senior Center Advisory Board does not meet in July or August, so this report will be in September. The library trustees had a lengthy meeting earlier this month. The director is gathering information to finalize a plan for the Tina Volusia his local history room. We're hoping to get that done sometime in 2026, since we're celebrating history, the big history year. So we have our fingers crossed for that. Carrie McCall started it, and I'm sure that Stephanie Elster will do a good job in completing it. The Teaneck Library will reopen in October, so we will be losing them by the end of September, early October, which means, unfortunately, that library hours will be shortened and they will be changed. So everybody should keep an eye out in September, if not earlier, for changing hours. Unfortunately, we will not have Sunday hours after they leave, at least for a while, but there will be some evening hours, and hopefully everybody will be able to get to the library where they want to get to the library. And of course, the book drop outside is always available to pick up books 24 hours a day. Rest of the doors are going to be repaired, others are going to be replaced. We adopted a policy regarding the library's new key cards and procurement cards, like a credit card for purchasing small items. The programs for adults and children are continuing. Summer adult programs are continuing. Registration for children's summer programs started earlier this month. All the first grade classes from BF Kids and from the Berkeley School visited the library and got their very own library cards. And it's a good way to start them on reading, and I think that's a wonderful idea for the children's card. We talked about whether a trustee will be able to participate in a meeting via Zoom if the trustee is unable to attend, and as the bylaws are silent on that, and we will discuss that further in September. We agreed that the new director, Stephanie Elster, is doing a fabulous job, and as of tomorrow, she will become a permanent employee. So kudos and thanks to Stephanie Elster for coming to Milford, and look forward to the future with her. I think she has some very exciting ideas, and I look forward to helping her carry them out.
That's great news.
Yes. And there are the library board trustees that will not meet in July or August unless of an emergency of some sort, and hopefully there won't be. That's my report.
Thank you. Councilman Seymour.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, the Municipal Alliance, I'd like to give them a lot of well-deserved credit. They've done a great job so far. And the most recent event which they held, which was, of course, for the Mental Health Awareness Symposium, went very, very well. And, of course, it was in partnership with the YMCA, so we thank them for their continued participation and partnership in all of these important outreach programs that we have in town. And the Municipal Alliance is already looking ahead to plan the ADAM event in the fall, and has already started to brainstorm ways to present another great program. I'd just like to give a congratulations to all of our kids in town who have moved up from one school to the next, and of course, congratulations to our high school graduates. And I think it's especially impressive to have not just one, but two graduates of the New Milford High School, either at West Point or going to West Point, will be at West Point at the same time. So congratulations are in order to those families as well as for the group. And our flood mitigation committee is busy planning ways to increase awareness, and in particular disseminate information about resources to not only to residents who live in our flood zone, but to new residents who move into our flood zone, so that they are aware to sign up for reverse 911 and other emergency measures. And our domestic violence coalition's already started to plan the fall New Milford Domestic Violence Awareness Symposium, as well as a mental health-based domestic violence symposium at Bergen New Ridge Medical Center. And I'll have more details on those at another time. That's my update.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilman Grosso.
Thank you, Mayor. The Junior Police Academy is currently underway now. I'm hearing a lot of good reports, especially from one of our council people whose daughter is attending it. Everybody's having a lot of fun there.
Moving on to the Shade Tree Commission, the Shade Tree Commission has obtained through DPW 100 trees that will be handed out on night out. They're between 4 and 6 feet high, so they are established trees. The plan is we will have 100 vouchers, first come, first served basis, and you will be able to get a tree to plant in your yard from the DPW. The rest of the details are still being worked out, whether we'll deliver it or how you pick it up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it one per person, right?
One per person. We're going to have 100 pieces of paper, first come, first served, take one, then we'll have instructions on how to obtain the
At the
trees.
DPW table? At Measurement?
It's going to be at the Shade Tree table,
The shade table.
which is going to be with environmental. That's my report.
Do we know what kind of trees?
I think there are two different types of levels. One is red and one is
Are these the, seedlings, or are they actually?
No, between 4 and 6 feet. They're
Yeah, that's
actually-
amazing.
So my last question would be, can these have to be planted on private property, or can we have?
Private property, this is for private property. In the fall, the borough will be getting additional trees for.
Just want to make sure people aren't planting them
Yes.
in the right away, accidentally not knowing, thinking, oh, this is a borough tree.
Yes.
You should just make sure that that's clear.
I have a question. If a borough tree is in front of somebody's house but on the right of way and dies, is there a way to replace it?
We do.
You do for that.
They get put on the list, never replace them.
That's it, Art, we good?
Yeah, and also if you notice, there's been a lot of trees planted. If you go down the boulevard also now, there's quite a few additional trees that have been planted, and we should have another big planting in the fall.
Lots of gator bands are out there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Council President Duffy?
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see. It seems like June went on forever, didn't it? Honestly. How many meetings did we all go to and events and everything else, but we're here. So the Historic Commission was excited to get the painting that the resident had sent to the borough. And of course, there was much discussion about where it should be hung. And the main discussion was the library at the historic room. And so, Hetty, we should talk about your timeline, the timeline for Rev 250, and perhaps creating an event around this painting.
I've spoken with Stephanie about working with the Historic Preservation Commission on a number of events.
Yes.
Including some lectures. She has some very good ideas.
Right.
I know she's on your Rev 250.
She is, yes.
So I think she'll be
But I'm saying specifically about this painting.
okay.
So let's brainstorm on that. But most of the members thought the library was the appropriate place. Let's see, and in that vein, our first meeting of the Rev 250 took place, just getting to know, some of the people on the committee. Of course, we welcome ideas. New Milford is just overflowing with history. Our area all around the Milford is overflowing with history from 250 years ago, which is so amazing. So more to come on that subject. Let's see, with the fire department, I just want to thank everybody for your support on the replacing and the installation of the new fire horn at Company 1. They're really very happy about it, so thank you for that. And the Board of Health did meet, and along with some of our other discussions, we always get reports from our health inspectors, and they're right on target. The thing that I felt was a little concerning was the vaccines and availability in the fall of vaccines as it relates to the administration in the feds as well as state. So we'll keep an eye on that. Milford assures us that we will have vaccines, but we're going to keep an eye on it and make sure it happens for the borough. That's my report.
Thank you. Sure. Councilman Zone.
Thank you, Mayor. Very brief reports. For me, I was unable to attend the rec meeting and also the public events. However, I did reach out to the director of rec, and he said there's nothing really new to report on his end. All the programs are ongoing and going well, and I spoke to the chair of public events. They had discussed a couple of hiccups that they had at the parade, and are making sure going forward into next year that they'll be corrected. I have nothing on the DPW and planning board. We're in the process of hearing a subdivision. They came to us at the last meeting, and however, are going back to the drawing table, and they're going to see us next month with some revised plans. And that concludes my reports.
Thank you. Councilman Samuelson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to say the Environmental Commission is making a big leap on a big project. It's a small thing, but they're very excited. They're going to be working with Sprout Farms to create a site plan for the native plant garden. So that has been a 4-year project, trying to find someone to collaborate with. This will be a 2-year project. The site plan will need to be reviewed by the DEP. The New Milford DPW will be involved as well in the creation of the site plan and approvals, and helping the site plan go through the approval process. And mayor and council will also have an opportunity to review the site plan. And the commission is talking about how to do some outreach with the community that is going to be right there next to the native plant garden. The green team continues to work on their home energy assessment outreach. I encourage everyone to go to the borough website, to the green team's website, to get information about free home energy assessments. With the rising costs of utilities, there are programs and incentives for low and moderate income. There are incentives for rebates. So there are programs for veterans, for seniors, and everything's very customized. And if anybody has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer any questions. So they can reach out to me directly, and I'll help guide them. And that concludes my report.
Yes. And you threw a giant block party a couple weeks ago. It was a block party on our street.
Yeah, we had a nice block party. It was very hot, but that's one of the nice things about New Milford, is that there are often block parties. The neighborhoods get along really well. The diversity is really nice. We get to meet our new neighbors, and so we had a lovely time. And thank you for joining us, Mayor.
Yes, it's good to see residents coming together and having a good time.
I guess our invitation got lost in the mail. I think.
No, it's a little slow.
Really a snail mail, isn't it?
All right, I'll invite you. I'll make sure you know next time. It's like a family get together. We don't do, it's like a potluck, so we don't do like big, okay.
We don't do potluck anyway.
Yes, last week I'd like to thank you. We made the mayor's ordinance review consultant back in January, with a report due every 6 months, and I filed it today, the first, part 1, first review, and I've done a significant section. There's still plenty more to go. I found 2 ordinances that need to be reviewed for inconsistency. The biggest problem I found, certainly in the earlier ordinances, was language problems, either grammatical errors or sexist, non-gender neutral language, and I think that should be changed. But there's one, and some of the definitions have to be reviewed because they differ while certain terms are used in more than one ordinance, it's used slightly differently in different places. So that needs to be reviewed as well. So I submitted it as of today.
I have a copy of it. I will review it, and I will advise how we're going to proceed.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, under OEM, it looks like that we are going to get an extra $10,000 from, ready? Hurricane Ida. Okay? Remember that?
Wow.
Yes.
What year was that?
Hurricane Ida was,
11?
yes. No, it was after that. It was like 5 years ago.
Oh.
Right. So we will get reimbursed for administrative costs, so we qualified and we will be getting that. I want to thank everyone for their patience and remind them to drive safely, particularly with the summer and more people out and about. We do have a lot of construction going on in town, so please obey the traffic signs, use the detours, and please watch your speed. Yes, congratulations to the class of 2025, whether it's DVO, our elementary schools, or the high school. And I just want to thank everyone who came together to put a high school graduation together. That is no easy feat. It requires the police, the school district, the fire department, the Holy Name, and everyone else to get that going. And it was extremely hot that
It's
night.
so thoughtful to plan it for the hottest day of the year.
Yes. So it all worked out well, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming together and make it such a memorable event for a lot of people. Last week, we had a final bridging ceremony for Girl Scout Troop 5569. So that troop is now finished and is expired in the Milford. They had adopted Prospect Park. So what they have done is they have actually transferred the adoption ownership of that park to the New Milford High School Environmental Club.
Oh, great.
Lynn Torpy and her team are extremely happy to have that, and they will be planning lots of things there for plantings and care of the park, which we are so glad that it transferred over, which is nice. I was not at our budget adoption meeting. That was in Disney World. But usually at those meetings, I don't know if it happened or not, but I'm just going to run down the sheet one more time. I know people got their tax bills in the mail this week. So I just wanted to remind everyone that the average assessed home in New Milford now is $643,161, and your average municipal tax is $4,232. Your municipal tax represents approximately 28.99% of your total tax bill. Our biggest expenses were salary and wages, which were around an increase of $45,600. Our pension obligation, which was an increase of $194,868. Our health insurance increase, which was $171,520. Other insurances, including property insurance and cybersecurity, was $133,030. Our garbage collection was an increase of $81,500. Our library fee was an increase of $98,504, which was state mandated. And our Bergen County Utilities Authority, which is our, that's what we pay for our sewage, was an increase of $58,166, and our debt service increased $224,151. All other departments, we actually, the Budget Committee has cut $190,786 from the budget. So the things that we mostly control are getting smaller and smaller, which shows that the Budget Committee is working hard and we are all committed to responsible budgets. So that takes care of the budget. And that's all I have at this time. Oh, and under Historic Newbridge Landing, I had mentioned the events that are coming up. So that was my report for Historic Newbridge Landing. If there's nothing else, I would ask for a motion to open up to the public for public comment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen of the public, if anyone has any questions or comments regarding the good welfare of the borough of New Milford, we welcome you to come up. We will give you 5 minutes to talk.
I don't know what to say.
Would you like to come up? Come on up. Oh, you just have to give us your name, do not give us your address. Stand at the podium. Just say hi.
Procedure is a little bit different. My
Yes.
name is Larry Bauer, probably now 10-year resident of New Milford. Very happy to make the change, and this is actually the first time that I'm appearing here, and I have to say, You guys are all very friendly. Some of you I've already met, and I think the way everything is handled is actually fantastic. And other than that, really have nothing more to say.
Thank you.
Other than I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you for coming.
And I was kind of surprised, I'm looking around, no cars in the parking lot, and I thought, I must have messed up on the day. You reach a certain age and you sort of lose track of time, or it goes way too fast and you somehow lost it. But
Thank you. We appreciate
thank you
that.
very much.
We're happy that you enjoy living in New Milford, and, actually Larry he also serves on Historic Neighbors Lending. He's a commissioner, so.
Yeah, we had met,
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
and John and I had met many, many times as well.
thank you.
Thank you for your service to the community. Thank you.
I haven't really done all that much. Not yet.
Thank you.
There'll be more to do, I'm sure.
Yes.
There'll be more to do, I'm sure. Thank you.
Sure.
Seeing that there are no other members of the public wishing to come forward at this time, I would ask for a motion to close to the public. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I get a motion to adopt resolutions 2025:162 through 2025:175?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ladies and gentlemen, we will be going into closed session. When we come out of close, no action will be taken by this governing body. And before we go into close, I just want to wish everyone a happy Independence Day. Be safe, have fun, and we look forward to seeing everyone at our National Night Out at the end of the summer. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Middle of summer, yes. Second, first Tuesday. Yeah. It's still June. Thank you and have a great night. May I get a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?